It's time to talk about how May 2020 went for us, so stick around for my May 2020 budget report, where I share our numbers with our zero-based budget. Hi friends, if we haven't met yet, I'm Jen, and we talk about living life on a budget, saving for our future, paying down debt, all those good things on our road to financial freedom. If you like talking about money and want to join the conversation, then click on that subscribe button down below and tap the bell so you'll get notified every time I post a new video. So let's just get into this budget. All right, so this is our budget that we use every month, and we will talk about all of the columns. So source is the description, basically, how much we budgeted, what our actual was, and then how much we were over or under. So we're going to talk about all those, but the focus is really going to be on the actual column for today. So as I move throughout the spreadsheet, this is what I'm going to be referencing the most. So first of all, let's talk about our income. With sinking funds, we had planned on bringing in $1,884, and we actually ended up bringing in $2,911. And then we didn't have to use anything from the emergency fund. Matt did have a stimulus payment come through. It didn't actually hit our account. It went straight to child support, but I have to reflect it as income here because it essentially went to paying off a debt. And so I can't reflect it as a debt payment if I don't have it as income. We had a conference that we had planned on attending the first weekend in May that got rescheduled to September, and it is now in a totally different location, and Matt can't attend. So we got a refund of $200 for that because they offered refunds since they were completely changing. They went from doing it in St. Louis to doing it in Long Beach, California. So Matt cannot make that date or that location. So we got his ticket refunded. We also had our auto insurance rebate from our auto insurance company of $31.69. So that brought our total to $14,400, which was $1,165 more than what we originally planned. So we had a really nice bucket to work with. In giving, we had planned on $250 and we only spent $146. And so if you have not heard me talk about this before, during the months of May and June, from May 1st through July 3rd, we have 14 gift giving events in our family every year. So that is birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and wedding anniversaries. And so that's just standard. That doesn't include any graduations that are coming up. That doesn't include if anybody has a baby shower in there or if there are any weddings and things like that. That's on top of the 14. So we always budget quite a bit in May and June for gifts because of that. And we didn't end up spending everything in May that we planned. It actually ended up carrying over into June. So we're giving some belated birthday gifts and that kind of thing. So anyway, we didn't spend as much as we planned. We came in under by $103. In housing, we were almost right on target. We had a $30 difference here for utilities, but we ended up paying $1,054 for our mortgage, $165 for utilities, $169 for gas electric, and then $169 for our water and gas, which is a quarterly bill that we pay. $177 for mobile services, $98 for internet, and it was down a little bit. My internet was down for a couple of days, and so they gave us a credit, and so that's why it was under what we planned. Our total came to $1,665, which was $26 over our original budget. In transportation, you can see we were under in gas at $179. OnStar was $35 because the promotional amount that I had been, the promotional fee that I had been paying, the 6 months ended. I've since called and gotten that reset, so it'll go back down again. But we had some unexpected repairs for the Lucerne, which is Henry's car. And he called, he was on his way home from work. He works at a fast food restaurant. He works 6 nights a week. And it was midnight-ish, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And he called and said, my tire just blew as he was driving home from work. So we had to get the car towed, and then we had to go ahead and put all new tires on his car. So, and when we looked into it, we realized we hadn't put new tires on that car, we don't think, since 2013. So it was long past due. So anyhow, so that's what that was. We had some money in the vehicle repair sinking fund to help with that. Otherwise, we cash flowed the rest of it. So we came in at $733 for the month, which was $511 more than what we planned. If you like this budget format, it's now available to you in my Etsy shop. So I'll include a link down below so that you can check it out. And I'll be sharing a video actually pretty soon here that will show how to use it. So keep an eye out for that because it will completely separate. It'll be a completely separate instructional video. There's a whole separate spending section that I don't ever talk about when I'm doing my budget reports or my budget setup. So I will show you how to use all of that, how to customize it, all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for that video. All right, next up is the food category, and you can see we were over in groceries at $562 and we were over in dining at $200, bringing our total to $762, over by $162. In the Henry category, this was a fee for a graduation sign that we put out in the front yard because he was a senior this year and graduated from high school. His last day was May 22nd. He hasn't had his commencement yet, but he is officially done and has all of his credits, so that's awesome. There was nothing for food service since he's not been going to school since early March. And then for graduation, there was no graduation ceremony. We didn't get to have a party for him like we had planned, but we did do just a little something just with us. So me, Matt, Henry, Xanthi, and Nikayla, the ones who live here, we all, we surprised him. Xanthi and I put a little something together for him. It was just a nice day. We got some balloons and decorated the table and did all that kind of stuff for him. So that was $62. So our total for Henry came to $72 for the month, which was $87 under what we originally planned. In pets, let's see here. Nothing for grooming. We had for food, we spent $132. So we had to buy for both the cat and the dog. We spent $68 on meds for the month and then $320 at the vet. And this is after in April, we had a big vet bill because we lost our cat. She got very, very sick and the testing and whatnot to figure out what was going on before we finally had to make the decision to let her go, and then paying for that as well was pretty expensive. Right at the same time that was happening, our dog started acting not herself. And we thought, is she just aging really rapidly? She's 9. She's a schnauzer, a little mini schnauzer. And we thought, man, maybe her time is coming too. We were really concerned, but she had trouble breathing. So we took her to the vet and found out that she had pneumonia, and that's why she was not acting herself. So 2 rounds of antibiotics later, several rounds of tests. Luckily the appointments were covered. All this stuff was discounted because of the insurance that we have on her, but it all adds up, and it was $320 for that to figure out what was going on and get her back to her normal self, which she is, and she's fine now. So anyhow, and then other supplies, we ordered a supplement for her as well, because when she wasn't feeling well, we thought maybe she was starting to have arthritis. And so this is like a joint supplement that we put in her food. It's just a liquid recommended by somebody that I worked with that they use it for their 14-year-old dog and said that it makes a big difference. They can tell when they don't give it to her. So we decided to try it. And actually, we think that has been part of her feeling a lot better as well. So $541 for pets, $241 over what we originally planned. But she is back to herself again. So this is awesome. And June so far has been a quiet month, knock on wood. And I'm hoping that will continue. So in insurance, we had our regular expenses, $398 for medical, $19.50 for dental, $80 for life, $62 for short term, $53 for accident, $32 for critical illness, $60 for Matt's union dues, $47 for mortgage disability, $6 for personal articles, $12 for our identity theft, and then the big one that we pay every 6 months was our auto insurance at $1,323. That brought our totals to $2,095, so pretty much right on target. We were just $1 under. In entertainment, we have $20 for streaming, $3 for our HP Inc. service. We didn't have anything for Cinemark since they've suspended everything while the theaters are closed. Family entertainment, we budgeted $30, we spent nothing. And so our total was $23 and we came in $30 under. In health, we have $325 for flexible spending accounts, $10 for the gym, $60 for healthcare, and that brought our total to $395, which was $64 under. In extras, you can see we planned on some of these things. There were other things that we didn't have planned. Like, we didn't plan on spending anything for our anniversary, and we didn't plan on spending a couple $100 on Nikayla, but let me just share what this was. So Amazon, this is our Prime membership that we renewed for $119. Google Life 360 is another annual subscription that we have. It's $69.99, and we had to pay tax, which I didn't realize. So $74 for that. Wedding anniversary, we spent $135 on our anniversary, which was on May 1st. It was a Friday. Matt and I both decided at the last minute our trip got canceled for the weekend. It was our 10-year anniversary this year, and we were supposed to go out of town and go to this conference together, and it was going to be a really awesome time to get away and that kind of thing. And of course, lots of things like that have been canceled over the course of the last few months. And so we weren't going to do anything. And then at the last minute, we decided, let's just take the day and get out of the house and just the two of us go away and find a park somewhere and go spend the afternoon or something. And so we found, and as it happened in our state in Illinois, they opened up the state parks effective on May 1st, which we decided we were going to try and smuggle ourselves into one somewhere before they made the announcement that they were going to open the state parks. So we drove, I don't know, it was like maybe an hour and a half away, just out away from home. And what we did was we went to our local grocery store that morning, and we went to the meat counter and picked up everything that we wanted to grill out, because we found a state park that had the grills there at the different areas throughout the park. And so we bought really nice cuts of meat. We bought the fancy sides, like the twice baked potatoes that were already all done. I mean, things where you just like throw them on the grill and cook them, and set up and had a really, really nice afternoon. The only downside was that it was the first day that it was open all spring. And so we had 3 big industrial mowers going around us that were pretty noisy, but it was just the two of us and we were okay. It was still peaceful. It was still very quiet. The park ranger came by and checked on us and asked if we were okay with it. And by that time we'd gotten used to it. So we had a really nice afternoon and just enjoyed our 10-year anniversary, just the two of us, which a lot of times we do things with the kids, and not this time. We took off and we ended up spending almost as much as we would have if we went out to eat and someone was serving us, and we totally didn't mind. So yeah, it was a great day. And then the $215 for Nikayla, this was actually, we decided to get her a swing set. They were living with us, and they were going to be here, and so we didn't want to go all summer. She's old enough now. She's 2, and she's old enough now that she is very interested in playing outside, going to the park and that kind of thing. And she can't go. There are no parks or playgrounds that are open at all. And so she had been cooped up in the house. So we found the cheapest one that we could find that had anything decent on it, that at least had a slide and a swing. And we ordered that. And so the good news is we spent $545 in this category, but all of this was covered by sinking funds. All of this was pulled out of sinking funds. So, we were $356 more than what we planned, but that's okay because we had it all anyhow. And the crap, I forgot about that. We don't have any activity here. So that was good news. In envelopes, you can see that I spent $46, which was a little more than I had planned. Spending for Matt was $62, which was under what was planned. Household, we spent $193, and miscellaneous $89. So overall, we came in about $33 over on those 2 line items. This is primarily because of the garden and lots of things that we were doing outside. So I have decided to make sure that we account for that in the annual spending, that we put a couple $100, probably $300, I think is what I put in there for next year, so that we have some money there and we aren't surprised. So the total was $391, which was $21 more than we planned in envelopes. All right, up next is the budget bounce. And so here you can see I had $57 for education, then nothing in equipment. We had $1.99, in subscriptions, and then $921 in travel. And so this was me purchasing my airfare, my ground transportation, and my trip insurance for the FinCon conference that is this year. It's in late September. So I spent $980. All of this was, let's see here. These two were covered by sinking funds. So that's the good news. I don't have any airfare to FinCon at this point in time. So I figure I'll figure that out later as we get closer. All right, so in sinking funds, let me run down here what we put in each one, and then we'll talk about how much we spent out of them. So auto insurance, we put in $275, auto registrations, $39, business travel was $20, city utilities was $80, clothing $40, estate planning $225, gifts was nothing because of how much we spent. Henry was $90, Henry's school was $90, holidays was $60, image cosmetics was $50, life insurance was $81, healthcare $25, one check ahead $50, online subscriptions $80, pet expense was nothing because of how much we spent, technology was $25, travel was $425, vacation was $100, vehicles was nothing because of how much we spent in that category, and then wedding anniversary was $15, bringing our total to $1,680. So now let's go over here to the spent column and talk about that. So we have in auto insurance, we spent $1,324, leaving us with $108. We have $258 in auto registrations, $40 in business travel. We spent $170 in city utilities, leaving us at $357. Clothing, we are at $170. Estate planning is at $862. Gifts, we spent $60, pretty much wiping that one out, leaving us with $1. Henry School is at $559. Holidays is at $222. We spent $50 in image cosmetics, so that brings us to $142. Life insurance is at $443. Healthcare is at $146. One check ahead is $235. $194 is how much we spent for online subscriptions this month, so that leaves us at $368. Pet expense is at $164. Technology is at $353. Move me here. Travel is at $1,000. We spent $827. And then we are at $1,904 is our balance. Vacation, we are at $957. Vehicles, we spent $150, leaving us with $11. And then wedding anniversary, we spent $136, leaving us with $61. So that brings our sinking funds to a total of $7,369 at the end of May. That's a number I'm pretty comfortable with, and I'm really glad to have these. So for those of you who don't know my history with this, I feel a lot better because of the way that we spend, and we are not good with having the money that we need when we need it. I would rather go ahead and earmark it ahead of time so it's there when I need it, and that's what these are for. All right, and finally, let's talk about our debt section, which is so big I have it broken into 3 separate sections. So the first one is what we've paid off so far, and I think there are 17 here, and we have paid off $25,434 total. These are debts that are in the rearview mirror that we do not have anymore. We don't have to deal with them anymore. We've paid off a lot more than that. These are just the ones that are 100% paid off. You'll notice that you'll see black and pink fonts here, and that is because we distinguish those that have Matt's name by making those black, and anything that has my name on it is pink. So you'll see that throughout each section here. Moving on, we have the charged off section. We have a total of $9,547 here. You can see these are all debts in Matt's name. He asked that these really old things that are out there, that we put those on the back burner for now. And so we aren't doing anything with these right now, but we will likely settle these in the future when we get to them. We just got to get through some of these actively paying debts here in this section. So let's talk about that. So first of all, we have Medic EMS. We paid $20 to that. That's an ambulance bill that the insurance screwed up. And so to avoid paying, being sent to collections, I'm paying $20 a month until the insurance gets that figured out. Next is Care credit card of mine for $50. Then another credit card for $25. It's Capital One. My 401k loan at $154. Matt's private student loan is $55. Lowe's is $190. And then our HELOC, our home equity line of credit, is $200. We use this to pay off of our biggest Visa. So the interest here is a lot higher than I anticipated, but it's because of the timing from the date that we closed to the date of our first payment, which was almost 7 whole weeks that went by. So this is a lot higher than it will be going forward. The car payment, we paid $550. Child support here, you can see we paid $1,925. Now, the thing about this is that normally Matt pays $725, and this is reflecting the $1,200 stimulus payment that came from the federal government that we didn't see in our accounts or anything. It went straight from the federal government to the Illinois State Child Support. So that all got posted to his balance, his arrearage that he owes. And so, yeah, that made a significant hit. And on top of that, it's actually more. There was a big, huge chunk that came off. Not exactly sure what happened there, but I had to make an adjustment because it dropped by $3,300 in 1 month, even though we paid in $1,925. I'm not sure if that has to do with some other things that are dropping off because he's catching up or what. So anyway, we'll take it. Family loan, we paid $200. And so that brings our total debt payments to $3,369 for the month. And you can see that we have, let's talk about total income versus expenses. So our total income was $14,400 and we spent $14,399. And then our starting debt, we started with $195,059. We paid $406 to interest, and we are down to $190,624. Now, there are some adjustments here that you don't necessarily see. Like this line right here, I said it was $3,300, even though we paid $1,925. At the end of the month, this is what the balance was. So I'm not sure what all those details are, but that's why there was such a big drop. So we only paid $33.69, but we killed off a total of $4,435 this month because of these adjustments. And so this is $4,435 is 29.9% of the income that came in, which is our regular salaries plus the $1,200 from the stimulus payment. So we put 30% of that money towards debt. Our total debt paid to date is $61,702, which is 24.5% of our original starting balance of $252,326. So it was a pretty good month overall. We're excited about the adjustments that were made, and we're just going to keep on chugging through all of this. Next up, I'm going to be talking about tackling your student loan debt. So click on this video right here, and I will meet you over there.